Sadie comes back. Hi guys. What's up, man? What's up, y'all? It's me, Ray Pettis. Wanted to talk to you guys regarding fantasy, the subject of fantasy that was brought up by HITRECORD. And what's up, guys? This is Ray Pettis regarding the subject of fantasy. Interesting thing about fantasy and how important its role is in all of our lives is that humans as a species are the only living species, as far as we can tell so far, that has the ability to tell stories, to communicate stories amongst each other. And that Mama. Yeah, and that that ability after that part of the brain developed, that ability has helped us to be able to continue to survive. For example, our ancestors may have used stories to communicate things like for hunting or whatever. Like let's say they were a hunter-gatherer group. They had to tell a story about, the bison or buffalo or whatever. The mother buffalo was here, and then the baby was born, and then their family traveled here, and they come out at certain times. They have to be able to recognize those patterns. And what fantasy did was make it easier to pass traditions along by personifying natural events, things that really do happen. But instead of, and our understanding at the time also kind of led to the creation of these fantasies. For instance, the sun and the stars were all personified, given names, at times worshipped like gods. And I mean, even today, it still goes on today, and this will even hop onto that different subject of the Bible. The Bible is a perfect example of humans using narrative to a narrative to persuade, to purvey a way of life, a way of living. And on the subject of fantasy and how it affects us today, is that once you figure this out, then you realize that it's all about picking a story that's inclusive, a story that makes you feel like you belong, but also a story that doesn't hurt, those around you or the planet that you're on. What are you doing, Sadie? It's like, what are you doing? Okay. Yeah, what is that? Is that you right there on the camera? Yeah. Yeah. So the importance of fantasy. Yeah, the importance of fantasy in our time now is that we still have the same brain function that our ancestors had, as far as needing a narrative to sway a whole bunch of people to do certain things a certain way. So an example of and we'll tie it in with the theme of money. A perfect example of a fantasy or a narrative or a myth that gets a whole bunch of people to do the same thing and go a certain way is this objectifying of money, making money a goal. Like Joe said, it's a tool that can help you achieve what you need to attain happiness, but that money itself isn't the prize. It's not the happiness. But when you look around at all the advertisements everywhere and what a lot of hip hop music, a lot of hip hop artists are always talking about their money and how they're stacking their millions and whatever. So they're getting people to fall for this fantasy that is a purpose. But you know, the thing about purpose is that it's whatever. I mean, you pick your story. I mean, you can make money your purpose. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't care who you're hurting or or what you're destroying, then I mean, we have the result of the planet we live on today. Right, Sadie? Well, be careful, baby. Here, I'll scoot over. So yeah, that's what we have in our world today, where people worship money and they'll trample over anybody they can to get more of it. Is that because they have some natural desire for money, some natural urge? Whoa, careful, maybe you're gonna fall. Or is it because they've been conditioned and trained to fall into this fantasy, this narrative, this myth? Ah, man, I always tie the themes together. I try to separate them, but everything's connected. So anyways, that's just my thoughts for now. I'll probably do something different later. Thanks. Peace.